Okay, so we've been dead silent.
Now I have you on the laptop.
This entire time. Both of us have. I'm also realizing that my stream on Thursday had no one.
Oh no.
Had no audio.
Oh
Because
no.
if this setting was turned off just now, um,
Hey, we live and we learn.
hello. So I've been talking this entire time. No, I've been talking this entire time, and I'm streaming from PS4, obviously. Uh, because hello, Andy. Hello, Carlos. I've been streaming this, talking this entire time. I just realized that because I'm streaming from my PS4 and this is a new account, it doesn't include my voice in broadcasts. I did an entire stream on PS4 on Thursday, which means no audio.
Oh jeez.
That's fine. It's gonna make it's barely. It's not even quite usable for recording. I made progress. You know what? I made progress,
We made progress and we have B-roll.
and we have B-roll ish because they were gonna have to cut out all this ugly ass PS4 OBS. Hello, Casual Campaign. Welcome. We do live and learn. Also, like my friend, a friend of mine, like messaged me on Discord. Hey, I'm watching your stream. It's taking forever. Or like, wow, these things take forever. And I responded to him on stream, and I didn't get a response back. Ah, and this has happened before when we did Bloodborne. Oh well. Anyways, hi everyone.
That's water under the bridge.
Now that we're basically everything that we said when it was silent was pretty much bullshit anyways, was just catching up and me filling in Alex about how the archives worked. But now we have some lore that I read up ahead of time that Alex was just reading before I realized that there was no audio, because I saw a big ol' slash across that microphone, and my feels are not ready. Alex, I don't think you're ready either. But now that we are being heard, let's go ahead and start over Memory 1088.
Well, that sounds so ominous for you to tell me that I'm gonna have feels right before I have to read something.
I'm not okay. When I just glanced at it before, so I knew what to, because I didn't look at it last stream. I just glanced at it to see what was going on.
Is it along the lines of what we discovered last time, that she's neurodivergent?
Yes.
Alright, alright.
It's feels in terms of I know that feel.
Okay.
And I know you feel this too. So,
Alright, alright.
without further ado,
This is Memory 1088, Claudette's 8th birthday. Claudette feels things more than others. Much more. Like the shame of not being invited to any birthday parties. Not one party. Every day her parents ask her who she played with at lunch. And every day she lowers her chin and tells them she doesn't want to talk. Her parents ask her teacher, and her teacher tells them she likes to play alone. Not so much play, more like collect and observe things. Flowers, weeds, beetles, worms, rocks. Some kids are just loners. Every day her parents ask her about her friends, and every day the shame returns. They want her to have friends, more than they want a list of names for her birthday. More than that, they want a list of names for her birthday. But she doesn't have a list of names. She doesn't even have one name.
oof.
Wow, thanks for... Oh, that hurt.
That opening line is all I needed to feel the pain.
Oh man.
Literally. The shame of not being in the shame of not being invited to birthday parties.
Some kids are just loners. Oh god.
Yeah.
Well, because the line that particularly hits for me is every day her parents ask her who she played with at lunch, and every day she lowers her chin and tells them she doesn't want to talk. And I remember being a kid, and I would give I don't want to, my parents, how was your day? And I would say, I don't remember, because I didn't know how to talk about it.
Yeah. And then you do kind of block it out.
Yeah.
Like, you do kind of like block out like the feels of
Exclusion.
of like what happened at school. I don't remember, and you're telling the truth because you don't like. You kind of disassociate, especially if you're neurodivergent, especially if you're ADHD. You're in a zone. You are hyper focusing the entire time if you're on medication, so you're not picking up any details. You are literally disassociating. So to say, hey, what happened at school? I don't remember. That's legitimate. I've done that same exact thing.
Yeah.
Or I don't want to talk. I had a moment, and like I'm rediscovering like what of ADHD or growing up with ADHD was medication and what was ADHD itself. Because as a kid, the second they find out, you're on the medication, so you don't really get to realize the difference until you spend 10 years off of medication and go back on it. And so when I'm on medication, either when I'm on medication, I don't talk. When I'm on medication, I go nonverbal for a while. Yeah, and it's not complete dysaudia. It's not complete silence. It's not mute, but words to say don't come to my head. Things to talk about don't come to mind. Which is why like small talk is difficult, which is why things like even now my Vyvanse is still, I'm on Vyvanse right now, so it's like, you know, when you're searching for the words to say or searching for the thing to talk about, like that awkward silence, that's the natural state when on medication.
Really? Just that kind of like groping forward for
it's like, it's not even that the words aren't there, it's the connection from brain to mouth isn't. And the will to say it and the urge to speak it and deal with the subsequent conversation isn't there.
That aspect rings familiar.
So she tells them she doesn't want to talk is also very real.
So there's sort of a twisted aspect then that, you know, she ends up in this game, which is an ensemble game.
It's an ensemble.
What we're essentially talking about is how for her entire life she's been excluded from ensemble. So in this very twisted way,
she's now part of the team. What's also twisted about this is none of these characters speak.
So they don't even have, I mean, they scream, and when
Ash is, yes, but Ash Williams is the only character with voice lines, with actual words that he says.
Are they quotes from the movie?
Yeah, they're like quotes from the show.
Okay.
Beyond him, there's the plague, which speaks in Babylonian or whatever, like a made up foreign language. But besides that, which is like Ash is like a cameo. It's an Easter egg. He doesn't count. Like, he is canon, but he doesn't. It doesn't really count. None of these characters speak within the game. And for Claudette, that's literal. She can't speak. She doesn't want to. And it's not that she can't. It's that she doesn't want to, which I feel like is a very strong distinction that people don't make. And it's not literally... There's an element of will versus, like... Well, if you try hard, you know what I mean? If you want it hard. Like... In Neuro-Divergence, there's like the inability, and then there's the desire. And people mistake one for the other in Neuro-Divergence.
And I mean, taking a step back to look at it from the meta perspective looking at it from the perspective of a developer, I don't know what the intention was, whether or not like there had originally been any intention of, when the survivors see each other, they can, whisper sort of hellos to each other, and that would also be one of the, the giveaways for the killer. It's just, that might have been something that threw it off balance, perhaps. But again, we're talking, you and I discussed how the lore is sort of patching the holes where the game loop fails to tell the full story. They're sort of complementing each other.
Yeah. Which is what this game does so well, which is why, hence the series.
Yeah.
And again, it's continuing to do this thing. Which we can probably talk about when we start diving into, when you and I privately start diving into like the first episode for the Entity. Is every in-game, everything that could easily just be explained by it's a game, has a story explanation for it. Which something like Overwatch, which is like advertises itself about advertises based on its lore, when really nothing in Overwatch, no gameplay elements in Overwatch are nearly congruous with the story that it claims to be trying to tell. Nothing about Overwatch's gameplay is congruous with the story. You have characters interacting that shouldn't be interacting. You have multiple versions of each characters fighting each other with no explanation at all. It's supposed to be a game about trying to find peace in the world, and it's a FPS.
Right. There's a lot of, misnomers there, to be sure.
It is pure ludonarrative dissonance, basically.
Yeah.
But with this game, it's all ludonarrative synchronicity. It is... Everything has an explanation for it. Even down to multiple versions of the same character in the game. In a single trial. Because time does not make sense in the Entity. Time does not exist in the Entity.
And that's one of those, it's a Lovecraftian style
and
of a god. So, you can take that kind of... You can take that kind of time is weird statement with like however much salt you need, because time is weird because a malevolent god kidnapped us. Ripped people from our reality and shapes a dimension based on their memories. And views.
And so now we have another example of Claudette doesn't speak. She doesn't? She does not have any voice lines. She screams because she's in pain, but so does every other nonverbal person scream when they're in pain.
Right.
So that's that's meaty. That's like 2 paragraphs, and it's like so meaty. And then let's just do...
The pacing of the writing is also really well done in that one, I feel.
Yeah.